Welcome back, welcome back. Today we're going to be having a look at the best reactor farms of the week. No one's really made a video on this and I usually don't myself. I like to watch other people's, but as there's been none, I thought I would get it out and hopefully you find some help. Now, it is my first time doing this, so please let me know what else I should put in these and if I got anything wrong. Because if I did get anything wrong, I would like to correct myself. If you do find anything helpful in the video today, hit the like and subscribe button, but only if you do find it helpful. And don't forget, you can always join the Discord if you have any questions that you can ask me directly. Now, we're already opened up on toxic tech reactors. That's because Freyna is the best character in the game, no doubt about it. When you're farming for this reactor, you're either going to go to forward base or the storage. And that's because we either want the impact rounds or special rounds. Special rounds would be your best option for the secret garden role, but impact rounds are also quite usable. Guns like Nitro's Devotion can also help the Freyna's ultimate a lot, and it's not totally necessary to have the secret garden. I have the secret garden and the Nitro's Devotion on mine, but I only really use the Nitro's Devotion, so you don't really need to worry too much about that. Just make sure you are farming this if you don't already have your Freyna up and ready. Best way to farm all of these is going to be use Valby, run the outpost and don't complete the missions. If you want, I can upload my Valby build as well. I can show what mods and how to do a Valby outpost run. For Freyna, there's two different roles you're going to want to end up going for. For bossing, the first one you want to have obviously is going to be damage against Colossus. Now, the other mod you can have in there could either be damage with tech or damage with toxin. It doesn't make too much of a difference. The numbers are going to work out roughly the same. So I wouldn't stress on which one you get, but make sure you have damage to Colossus in there. And at least one of the two. For killing 400% dungeons, I highly recommend getting yourself a range modifier on there and a toxic or tech. The same either or works, we just want extra damage, but the main thing here is we get range and toxin or tech, right? That's my personal favourites to use for 400% dungeons, and I do think everyone should try it out. When it comes down to your non-attributes, make sure you get yourself a Gley reactor ready, because Gley is a phenomenal character. For Gley, you're going to want to run a non-attribute dimension reactor. Now, ideally you want to get a Python on there, so there's no general rounds available at the moment, but get any Python reactor. Move the weapon optimization requirements to the reactor that you get, and the reactor you get, you're going to want to have damage to Colossus, mainly, because she is made for bossing. And you're going to want to have non-attribute or dimension, because that is what her ultimate skill is, and that's why we're going for a dimension reactor. It'll be non-attribute, dimension reactor. You'll want Python with non-attribute or dimension with damage to Colossus. And again, the best way to get all of these is going to be the Valby outpost farm. There's no doubt about it. It's just such an easy way to get reactors, and it doesn't really take that much effort, it doesn't take much investment, it's just very easy. So when it comes down to the chill reactors, I recommend getting yourself a reactor for Hailey in particular. Fuck Fiesa. She's not great. I mean, she's not bad. She's just not great. Now, you can easily just go into the observatory to get Hailey's reactor, as we do want a high power rounds roll with the piercing light on it, is what I've got. So for Hailey, we're going for a chill reactor with singular and the piercing light. So the observatory will give us chill, singular and high power rounds, which allows us for a chance at the piercing light. You can always move it over, but it's expensive. So we're trying to get as much as we can without having to move any weapons or spend any resources. Now with that, you're probably going to want to have either critical damage and damage to Colossus, or you're going to want to have the singular or chill plus damage to Colossus, because she is, again, a bossing character. You aren't really going to use her in mobbing scenarios, so just get that damage to Colossus on the reactor. The other one can be any of the three: crit damage, chill damage, or singular damage. All of those work. You don't really need to worry too much about it. The crit damage, I would say, is the best. If it's not, let me know. Let it in the comments. If everyone else, make sure you're checking the comments just in case I do get corrected. People know more, so have a look down there. If I've got corrected, use the advice that's correct, of course. When it comes down to the fire reactors, we're going to be going for a Lepic reactor. So we're going to be going fire tech with impact rounds, lumberyard for that. I use an Nitro's Devotion for the impact rounds. It's the same as Freyna. The more you can kind of incorporate one gun into each build, the less investment you need overall. So my Nature's Devotion works for both my Freyna and my Lepic. When it comes to Lepic, all you really want is crit damage and Colossus damage, or again, if you're not too, don't care too much, the other one you can do is Colossus damage and fire or tech, right? Fire or tech, they're both going to work out quite well, but the main thing you need is Colossus damage. Crit damage does help. So get your Valby, run the outposts, and farm here in the lumberyard. That's going to be the best place for you. We also have a Grand Square for Fire Dimension. This is going to be for Blair. When it comes to the sub rules for Blair, I don't use them too much, but I believe the main rules you're going to want to have there is going to be crit damage and dimension skills. He has good range. He has a really good critical hit rate for his skills, so get more crit damage to make that better, and dimension or fire works out pretty well. And last but not least, we're having a look at the electric characters. Now here's one for Bunny, Derelict Covert, electric and singular. Special rounds, not great, not good. Realistically, you'd want to input like the Thunder Cage or some mobbing weapon in there, because she is a mobbing character. Now, because she's a mobbing character, you could go with a Enduring Legacy on her, so that you can use the Enduring Legacy and her abilities and get the full buff, and that means you don't necessarily need to be weak for bosses. Now, I know she's not totally useless when it comes to bossing, but obviously if you get an Enduring Legacy on your relic for Bunny, that'll help a lot with them. Now, when it comes down to the rules that you want, honestly, there's a lot of options when it comes to Bunny. You could have range, you could have electric damage, and you could have the singular damage. I would recommend range, most importantly, and then either electric or singular damage. Either or will work the same, roughly. Just make sure you have a range on there. You can also get a bit of cooldown, so you can do range and cooldown. That would be good. But just the most important part will be range and getting a gun on there. Either if you want to use it for mobbing, get a Thunder Cage on. If you want to use it for killing a bit more bosses, get a Enduring Legacy on. When it comes down to Sharon for electric characters, it really depends on what you want to build her for. Obviously, Ultimate Sharon's coming out soon, so her 4 and her 1 are going to be much more useful, which are her fusion abilities. Her cloak is dimension and her grenade is dimension, right? So you can either choose dimension or fusion. Now, I'm going to recommend fusion. Now, as we can see, I already have a dimension for skill cooldown. That's just for my outposts. The other reactor I have here for my Sharon is going to be a tingling mixed reactor, right? It's electric and fusion skill. I have fusion skill power buff on it, and I have a skill critical rate buff on it. That's going to be pretty good. Now, skill critical damage would have been good, but I'll take skill critical hit rate. Now, I have a lot of good electric relics. I just don't really have a good electric character. Now, when Ultimate Sharon comes out, that's going to change. So when Ultimate Sharon ends up coming out, I do have 12 crystallization catalysts and a energy activator waiting. I just need to obviously get Sharon. But when it comes to farming Sharon's relic, you can go to anything really, right? There's singulars, there's fusions, and there's dimensions there. And we're not in a shortage for electric elements, so just go and farm up your Sharon, especially if you are looking to get Ultimate Sharon. Farm up base Sharon. Farm up a good relic. You can put it on base Sharon to know what you're doing. So right now, I have this on my base Sharon, right? Electric Fusion. That's going to make her 4 and her 1 hit really hard. So with the Enduring Legacy, this is going to work out a lot better. So yeah, I got to upgrade that, but I'll do that right after this video. Honestly, I think you should get one of these. These are pretty good. Fusion skill and skill critical hit rates. If you want to get your fusion skill electric reactor, here is what you're able to run. Now, I obviously have an Enduring Legacy on it. I would recommend getting an Enduring Legacy on it. Now, you could get a sniper and do invisibility high damage builds as well, so that's always an option. But either get the Enduring Legacy or get yourself a sniper with high powered rounds. So yeah, that is all for the video. I know, very quick one. It's just going over what are the best reactors for you to farm at the moment, coming into the start of season 2 when everything's going to change. It's not too big a deal that you go and do this now, but if you want to get a bit of a head start and get a good grind going, here you go. Pick some of your favorite characters, go and get their reactors, and you can make your characters a hell of a lot better. I'm gonna be probably doing one of these every week depending on what comes out. Shout out to Dennys, obviously I'm pretty sure he started this with his weekly loot cave. If you did enjoy the video, if it did help you at all, in whether that be understanding what reactors you need for the likes of Bunny or any of the characters we mentioned, or even just where to get those reactors, please hit that like and subscribe button. If I got anything wrong, let me know. I don't mind. I get shit wrong. Don't forget to join the Discord, and that's all for today. I'll have to love yous and leave yous. Goodbye.